This is the 7th year after the world ended. I've grown used to silence and ruins. Only my dog remains by my side. Every day we search for food and water, wandering like ghosts across this lifeless land. We arrived at an abandoned supermarket. The door was destroyed, and the inside was in chaos. I knew there might be nothing left, but I still decided to go in and take my chances. I searched between the shelves, fingers brushing over dusty cans. Suddenly, I found a can of beans that was still edible, a feast for us tonight. My dog suddenly stopped, ears raised as if it had heard something. It always senses danger or change before I do. I saw a faint figure through the broken windows. He seemed to be watching me, then vanished. I burst outside, heart pounding. Maybe I wasn't the only survivor after all. I picked up an old baseball cap from the dirt, still in good condition. Who left it? Why did they run? As night fell, we set up a temporary camp under a broken highway sign. The firelight illuminated our faces, briefly chasing away the loneliness. I looked up at the stars, still shining, even after the world fell. Perhaps someone else was watching them too. We set out as dawn broke. That figure lingered in my mind. I had to find him. In the gas station, I found an unopened bottle of water. Still warm, someone had been here recently. I saw someone hiding behind a wrecked car. I crept closer, but before I could speak, he ran off. I chased him until I was out of breath. The figure finally vanished beyond the horizon. I found a crumpled note on the wall. It read, "Don't follow too close." Not a warning, more like an invitation. A mutated beast emerged from the shadows of a collapsed tunnel. I raised my makeshift weapon. The dog growled. We had to survive. The fight was over, but we were both wounded. I leaned against the wall, catching my breath. The dog licked its wounds, while the footprints still led forward. We entered an abandoned hospital. Shattered glass, scattered medical files, and the smell of disinfectant and decay filled the air. I found a first aid kit buried in the rubble. This was exactly what we needed, perhaps even life-saving. I gently wrapped a bandage around the dog's paw. He was my companion. I couldn't lose him. It started raining and the footprints began to fade. But I remembered the direction and the goal. We walked through a dark subway tunnel. Darkness swallowed everything except for the occasional flicker of dying lights reminding us we were still alive. I heard footsteps echoing down the tunnel, not mine, not the dog's, another person's voice. I saw a silhouette dart past an open train door. I rushed forward, but found only an empty cabin. I picked up a faded photo of a family standing in front of the house. They looked so real, so happy. I wrote a note and taped it to the wall. "I'm not your enemy. Maybe he would come back." I climbed a hilltop and gazed over the valley. Suddenly, I spotted movement in the distance. There he was again. I sprinted down the slope, heart pounding. He was getting closer. I could feel him just ahead. I finally arrived, but all I found was a torn piece of cloth. He had vanished again. I began to wonder if it was all in my head. Maybe I was losing my mind. We continued to move forward. In a ruined school, I found a diary. It read, "He is waiting for you." The last page read, "Don't trust them." I didn't know who them was or if I should even believe this man. I picked up a weak radio signal, sounded like a distress call. I had to check it out. The radio suddenly transmitted intermittent coordinates and addresses, and then suddenly the signal was interrupted. I thought this might be a gathering place for survivors. The story isn't over. The journey continues,